Hi students, have a great day. Welcome to my channel. Today I am going to teach you exercise 1.3. So exercise 1.1, 1.2 I already done in my video. If you have not seen, you can see that video and proceed also. And if you are clear with that, no issue, you can continue here itself. Okay, so what are the things I have already taught you regarding rational number and irrational number. I wish to give you a recap in this. Okay, so number can be either, if you divide two numbers, so that is p by q. If a number is in the, it can be either terminating or non-terminating. Okay, if it is terminating, then it is called rational number and can be written in the form of p by q, q not equal to 0. If it is non-terminating, then there can be two possibilities. One is a repeating decimal, and one is non-repeating. Okay, suppose if I am dividing 10 by 3, 3 3s are 9, then 1 0 point, 3 3s are 9, and again 1 0, then 3. This will keep on going. So this is non-terminating, but it is repeating. So like that it can be in this form also. Suppose if it is like this also, then also it is repeating. It can be written in the form of bar, 189 bar matlab it will be repeating. It's the meaning, the expansion will be like this. Okay, so either it is, if it is non-terminating and repeating can be this way or this way. Okay, so both these are rational numbers. Okay, so next, if it is non-repeating means, suppose a number you are dividing and you are getting 1 2 3 5 6 1 7. So any order, it's not required it should be in a particular order or it's repeating. Okay, so that's the concept which I have already taught you. So now I have given a recap, so please understand that. Once, if you can't understand, please go back and see the video again. Any number that can't be written in the form of p by q, and q is not equal to 0. Why are you saying q not equal to 0? Anybody know? See, suppose if I am giving 6 by 0, what is the value of this? No value. Why? See, meaning of this is, if I am taking 6 by 2, what is the meaning of this? There are 6 parts, and I have to divide it into 2 each. Two parts I have to divide. So that is the meaning of this. Okay, so how many parts I can divide? 3 parts. So you will get 3 as the answer. So the same 6 parts is here, and I am asking you to divide by into 0 parts. Is this possible? No. So that's why it is called as indeterminate form. Okay, so q denominator can't be equal to 0, and then it is meaningless. Okay, any number that can't be written in the form of p by q and q not equal to 0, and non-terminating, non-repeating. This one, non-terminating, non-repeating. So all this cumulatively called as a irrational number. So if you are getting confused, you can see not is the main character of this. So not equal to 0, non-repeating, non-terminating, non-repeating, all will be not. Okay, so next one is rational numbers. Any number that can be written in the form of p by q and q not equal to 0 here also. Okay, so they're written in the form of p by q and q not equal to 0. Then HCF of pq is equal to, this I will explain again. Then terminating or non-terminating with repeating pattern. This is what I here told. Terminating or non-terminating with repeating decimals. Okay, so this thing I have explained you. So now what is this HCF of PQ is equal to 1? What is P and Q? P and Q are integers. Here we have to write that also. P and Q are integers. Both the places here also. P and Q are integers. Okay, so now what is HCF of PQ equal to 1? That means then P and Q are co-prime. So in co-prime number we have the HCF as 1 only. Suppose if I am giving here 25 by, sorry, here I am writing 25 by 10. Okay, so this is in the form of p by q, but it can be further simplified as 5 by 2 as 5 by 2. Okay, so now what is the factor? 2 into 1. What is the common factor? 1. So the HCF will always be 1 in a simplified form of P by Q. So that if that is 1 alone, then the numbers are called as coprime. So coprime are those numbers that have only one common factor, namely 1. Another example is 16 and 3. 16 you can write it as 2 into 2, 4 times 2 power 4 na. Okay, so then 3 is 3 into 1. So what is the common factor here? Again the common factor here is 1. So HCF is equal to 1. So these two numbers are coprime. So in rational number in a simplified form, the HCF will always be equal to 1. Okay, so this is the concept. Hope it is clear. Yeah. So now the theorem is here is let P be a prime number. Please note this, P be a prime number. If P divides A square, then P divides A. So what is A? A is a positive integer. So I have given an example here. So what is P here? Suppose P is equal to 3 and A is equal to 9. So P divides A square, 81. So 81 by 3 is equal to 27. So P divides A square, then P divides A also, right? So we have taken a number as an example and proved. General proof we can do. Okay, is this clear? The theorem is clear. Let P be a prime number, any prime number. If it divides the number square, then that prime number will divide the number also. Okay, next one, this is a proof, general proof. Previously we have proved by using a number 9 and squaring that 81. Okay, so this is a general proof. Please understand this clearly. If right, first theorem is written here. Okay, so now the theorem we are proving. Let the prime factorization of A be as follows. A is the number, like what we have taken 81 there, no? Likewise here we have taken A. So what is A? We have taken A is a number with some factors. So like if you are taking 81, you will have 27, 3, 9, 3, 3, right? So A is equal to, you will write as 3 into 3 into 3 into 3. Likewise here we have taken an A, and the factors we have taken instead of 3 because we don't know, we are taking a general factors P1 to Pn. So this should be a prime number. Now whenever we factorize, we will get only prime number and not necessarily distinct. The numbers can be same, but it will be prime number. So those things we have done here. Now we have to square this. Square this means this you have to write 2 times. Okay, so if you are writing 2 times, you can square this P1 square and then P2 square and then etc. up to Pn square. So we will write in this is A square. Up to this it is clear. So now what is the theorem? According to the theorem, P divides A square. So P divides A square. So that means, what is the meaning of that? P is one of the factor of A square. So this is square. Okay, P is one of the factor of A square, right or not? So if I am saying 3, 3, 3, 3 is the factor, okay, of A square. A square ka factor hai na? This is of 81, A square factor. So then it means P is one of the factor, right? So if P is one of the factor of A square, however, using the uniqueness of, we realize that prime factors of A square are, what is A square? P1, P2, P3. This is one of the factor, right? See here, this is one of the factor of A square. So P is one of this one. That means P divides this one. So getting or not? See here, we are taking A square is equal to, A is equal to P1, P2, P3. Okay, etc. up to Pn. So what is A square? A square is P1 square, P2 square, etc. up to Pn square. Okay, so now it is given P divides A square. So that means P is one of the factor of this. Okay, so that means if this divides this, means it should be a factor of this, right? So it can be split in this way. p1 p2 etc pn into p1 p2 etc pn. Okay, this can be split in this way. So like this, if you are splitting, p is one of the factor of this or this. Okay, so but both are same. That means p is a factor of p1 p2 etc up to pn. Okay, so if this is the factor of this, then p divides this. What is this? A. So if this is p is a factor of this one, p is a factor of this one, then p divides a. What? Because this is nothing but a, so p divides a also. This is the proof. Okay, so now coming to the exercise, prove that square root of 5 is irrational. So in this, how we are going to, we will take a contradiction. By contradiction we have to prove. So okay, suppose, so what is the contradiction of irrational? Suppose root 5 is rational. We are taking the contradiction. Okay, so if root 5 is rational, then root 5 can be written in the form of p by q, q not equal to 0, and pq we are taking as co-prime. What is co-prime? That is the simplest form of p by q, where the HCF is only 1. Okay, so now this is taken. So squaring both sides, you will get 5 is equal to p square by q square. Is this right? Yes. Q square is equal to p square by 5. So what is the meaning of this? 5 divides p square. So it means 5 divides p also as per the theorem. So that means p by 5 is equal to, we will get some other value. 5 divides p square, we are getting q square. So 5 divides p also, then 5 by p will be some integer. So we can write it as p is equal to 5c. Okay, this is done. So I'll take this as equation 1, put in equation 1. Which in equation 1? Put this in equation 1. So we'll get root 5q is equal to 5c. Squaring both sides, we will get 5q square is equal to 25c square. So q square is equal to 5c square. So q square by 5 is equal to c square. So what is the meaning of this here? 5 divides q square. As per the theorem, you have to write here 5 divides q also. So from this, 5 divides p also, and 5 is dividing q also. That is, 5 is a factor of, 5 is also a common factor of p and q. But as per our assumption, we have taken p and q as co-prime. So that means 1 alone should be the common factor. But here we are proving 5 is also a common factor. That means root 5 is not rational, so it is irrational. Is this clear? So how we are proceeding? We are taking the contradiction. We have to prove root 5 is irrational, so we are taking root 5 as rational. So if it is rational, it can be written in the form of p by q, q not equal to 0, and we are considering this as the simplest form of p by q, that is after cutting all those things, after reduced form. So in that reduced form, that will always be a co-prime. So what is a co-prime? These two numbers will have HCF, one as the HCF, only one as the HCF, that is a common factor. Okay, so up to this it is clear. So now we are squaring this and finding 5 divides p square. P square by 5 is some value integer, then it means it divides this. Okay, so 5 divides p square. As per the theorem, 5 divides p also. If you are dividing and getting, see here, if you are dividing 81 by 3, you will get 27, and if we are dividing 9 by 3, you will get some other number, no? Right. So if 5 is p square is divided by 5, we are getting q square. When p is divided by 5, we are getting some other integers that I have taken as c. So p is equal to 5c. This value we are putting in this equation just to prove q square p, that 5 is also a factor of q square. So now cross multiply and squaring both sides. we have to write those steps. Okay, squaring both sides, we found that 5 divides q square also. If 5 divides q square, then 5 divides q also. So 5 is a common factor of p and q, which is a contradiction because p and q are, we have taken as co-prime. So this is not rational, this is irrational. So next question is 3 plus 2 into square root of 5 is irrational. Again we will go by the contradiction, we will take it as okay, so we will take the same step again. So now 2 root 5 is equal to p by q minus 3, and then root 5 is equal to p by q minus 3 into 1 by 2. So we are bringing all this value this side and keeping only 5 here. So in the first question we have proved 5 is irrational. Okay, so here this side should be rational. Why? Because p and q are integers. So if we are solving this, anyway we will get in the form of p by q. So this side is rational, this side is irrational. So that, which is not possible. Okay, so p by q cannot be rational. Rational cannot be equal to irrational. So 3 plus 2 root square root of 5 is irrational. Okay. So next question. See, here we have already proved 5 is irrational in our first sum. So we are taking this as irrational. If it is asked in your question, you have to again do the first sum also to prove root 5 is irrational. Okay. So next question, you have taken 1 by square root of 2. So we have not proved square root of 2 is irrational till now. So first we have to prove square root of 2 as irrational. Okay, so p by q. Okay, as usual you have to write p and q, q not equal to 0, pq integers, and pq are co-prime. Okay, as discussed in the previous question. Okay, co-prime. Okay, after this what you have to do, you have to take q is equal to root 2 p. So q square is equal to 2p square. So q square by 2 is equal to p square. So that means 2 divides q square, which implies, as per the theorem, okay, 2 divides q. Till this done, then so q by 2 will be some c. Since it divides, q divides, 2 divides q. So q by 2 is equal to c. So q is equal to 2c. Okay, now where we will substitute this over here. So keep it as 1, put in 1, equation number 1. Then q is equal to 2c is equal to root 2 p. So squaring both sides, 4c square is equal to 2p. C square is equal to, or else you can write as 2c square is equal to p. So c square is equal to p square here, right? Yeah. So c square is equal to p square by 2. So 2 divides p square, which implies 2 divides p also. So p and q have 2 as another factor. Has 2 as another factor. So which contradicts, it is co-prime. So it should not have any other factor other than 1. So that means what we have assumed 1 by root 2 as rational. We have assumed 1 by root 2 as rational. From in the beginning you have to write the steps. So you have assumed rational, but it is not rational. So it is irrational. So we can prove 1 by root 2 is irrational, or root 2 is irrational also. So now the question is 7 by root 5. So again we will take the contradiction, assume 7 by root 5 is rational. Okay, so then it can be written in the form of p by q. So root 5 is equal to 7q by p, cross multiply. Okay, So now this side it is PQ. Here you have to write all those steps again. Q not equal to 0, PQ integers, and then PQ co-prime. All this you have to write. Okay. So this side it is rational. Root 5 already we have proved in first sum that it is irrational, so I am using this here. If the question is asked in the exam, again you have to prove root 5 is irrational as per the first sum. Okay, then only you can write root 5 is irrational. So now this side is rational. Okay, so this side is rational. Why? Because this q and p are integers. So if you solve also, you will get in the form of p by q. So irrational cannot be equal to rational. So that means this is the 7 by root 5 is irrational. Okay. So next question, 6 plus root 2. Again we have proved, here we will take assume 6 plus root 2 as rational. Okay. So which is equal to p by q. So root 2 is equal to p by q minus 6. So here again root 2 is irrational. This is because we have solved in our previous question. Here we have proved that root 2 is irrational. Okay, so we can use that root 2 is irrational here over here. If this question is simply asked, then again you have to prove again and again, telling you can't write here it is irrational. We have to prove this also. Since we have proved in the previous question, I am using that concept result over here. Okay, so this side it is irrational, which is not rational, which is not possible. So our assumption is wrong. So our assumption is wrong. That means which implies 6 plus root 2 is irrational. Getting? Please try to understand clearly. If you have any doubt, you can write in the comment section. Okay, so after this your third exercise is over.